Hello and welcome to Off the Charts episode 400. My name is Dan and I shall be your host today. So cheers to you all. Before we start off, if you do like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Hit the little thumbs up and the little bell to be notified when I publish new content like this. So today is going to be another one of my revisiting forgotten bands. And when I say this is really forgotten, I have had such a hard time finding stuff on the internet regarding this band here. It's ridiculous here. So, before Primal Fear, even before Gamma Ray, there was Tyran Pace. So I'll these guys right here. Okay, so I'll go album per album there. We'll talk about these. Tyran Pace. Who is Tyran Pace? Well, when I said before Primal Fear and before Gamma Ray, it's basically Ralph Sheeper's first known or popular band. I don't know if he did anything before that. I don't know. I couldn't find anything. So, but yeah, Tyran Pace was a German heavy speed metal band. Resembles a lot like Judas Priest style. Was founded in 1983 by Ralph Sheepers and Oliver Kaufman. Now, I'll show you one. I gotta save this one for, but anyway. Tyran Pace. Now, I don't know. There's an apostrophe right here. Is it supposed to be Tyrant Pace or Tyranny Pace? Like, why is the... And I couldn't even find anything why this apostrophe is there. But yeah, needless to say, it's Tyran apostrophe Pace. That was Ralph Sheeper's first band. Now, we're going to go through the members, but I'm going to go through them album per album because they basically change lineups every album. So I said, I'm not writing them down here. I'm going to just go through every album. So they've got 3, technically, studio albums with Ralph Sheepers, and they have another one 12 years later, and for that, stick around. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Well, maybe I have, I just don't remember, but we'll get to that album when when we get to it, of course. So yeah, they were formed in 1983, resembles a lot like Judas Priest, but I enjoy them. They're I mean, if it's about as original as Primal Fear, if you ask me. I know they've got songs here and there that are pretty original there, but when you think of their style of music, it's about as original as Primal Fear. But I find still good stuff. So in 1984, they come out with this beautiful album cover here. So Eye to Eye. So there's a little naked kid here with a shotgun. No, an old... Anyway, it's, yeah, terrible album cover here. So you've got here Ralph Sheepers on vocals, Oliver Kaufman on guitars, more on him later, Michael D. Young on guitars, Frank Mittelbach on guitars, Andreas Hughes on bass, and Edgar Patrick on drums. And of course, if you guys find this artwork very beautiful, it was done by Connie Winter. So, yeah, so what happened is actually, I've known about these guys for like 20, maybe even 30 years, because my friend Pascal loves Gamma Ray and I think likes Primal Fear. I don't really remember there. But because he loved Gamma Ray so much, he went and got these albums. So when he was selling his vinyl albums that he had, and I was selling my CDs that I wanted to get rid of, we kind of made an exchange. So I took 2 of his Tyran Pace albums because I do remember them. So this is Eye to Eye from 1984. You've got Highway Nights, which is actually not too bad of a song. Opens with that. Black Leather Beauty. Yeah, there's going to be like types of Song titles that you've heard to death here, like Let It Rock, Eye to Eye, more on that song later on also. Um, State of the Kind, uh, Come and Get It, Leave Me Tonight, Fight Fever. Probably my second favorite of theirs. But yeah, still a fun album. So yeah, Tyran Pace, Eye to Eye, with one of the most beautiful album covers you'll ever see. Now, let's go look at their second album, which is actually my favorite. So from 1985, we've got Long Live Metal. So this one has Ralph Sheepers on guitars, on vocals, Oliver Kaufman on guitars, Calo Rapallo on guitars, Andy Hughes on bass, and Edgar Patrick on drums. So this is the one I remember the most. I remember my friend playing this because when I bought them, or we exchanged whatever, when I got them off of him, I distinctly remembered 3 or 4 songs from this album here, which is Hot to Rock, which has the Long Live Metal line in it. Probably my favorite of theirs. It's fun. Has got Shockwaves, Red Sweat, Play All Night, Law and Order is pretty good. Wheels of Love, Hot to Rock, like I mentioned. Shakedown, Night of the Wolves, Raid the Victims, and Killers on the Highway, which I do love that one too. So here's the back cover. There's a very young Ralph Sheepers. If you follow him in Primal Fear, he doesn't look like that anymore. Just imagine the same body type there, but with no hair, with a little bit of a beard, maybe shorter than mine there. But yeah, their second album here from 1985, Long Live Metal, would be my favorite here from them. So these are the 2 I got from my buddy. So when I looked up on Discogs, I saw, they have 3 albums on vinyl, and one of them I do remember. So, in 1986, they came out with Watching You. I just don't remember why. I guess my friend Pascal had this on CD also. But I do remember the album cover. Kind of freaked me out a little bit there, a little bit creepy, but still cool at the same time. So on this one, you've got Dawar Sertic on guitars, Andy Hughes is back on bass and backing vocals, Ralph Sheepers on lead and backing vocals, Oliver Kaufman on guitars and backing vocals, and Andy Fallshear on drums and percussion. So I got this one off of the Discogs. Probably is the most expensive well, I don't remember there. I don't remember. I can't. No, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't expensive either. But I felt it was more expensive than those 2 because I got them from my buddy. I just didn't check how much those 2 are worth. But yeah, this one here, probably my least favorite of the 3. Still good. Saints of Rock, Cry Out. See, there's some writing. See, I got this used. Well, obviously used because there's this. But I don't know. There's these lines, these really not transparent, but like hardly visible lines across each song. Now, was this done by the previous owner or any original copies out there? You have this album with these little, again, I don't think you can actually see. You could sort of see it right there. Yeah, they've got these blue lines across each title. I don't know why. Is it the guy that owned this before? I'm not sure. But yeah, Saints of Rock, which is not too bad. Cry Out, Hands in the Air, Criminal, Matter of Time. Get Down, Madness, Fire in Your Eyes, and We Are Strong. Produced by Tommy Hansen. Why does that name sound familiar? Again, I stopped looking for answers regarding this band because I couldn't find dick all. So yeah, this would be their 3rd and last album with Ralph Sheepers. So after this album, yeah, you can see the family. They're on Noise Records, which was Halloween's Are they all on? No. Yeah, Noise Records. This one's not on. This one's not on Noise Records. I know that. Scratch Records for this one here. So yeah, that's the three Tyran Pace albums. More. Wait, there's more. Three Tyran Pace albums with Ralph Sheepers. So after these three albums, the band disbanded. Sheepers went on to be the singer for Gamma Ray for their first three studio albums. Now, this is where it gets interesting here. In 1998, so 12 years later, they come out with this album right here, Take a Seat in the High Row. And you're like, really? There was a fourth Tyran Pace album? Well, this is where it gets complicated, and I've never even heard of this before. Well, to a point there, but this is... So in 1998, there was a reunion album. This, again, is from the internet. It was recorded without a single former band member. The lineup, what happened is the lineup in the fourth album bought the rights to the name and the logo, which I believe the logo's not even on the cover. Yeah, but they bought the rights for the band name and logo off of Oliver Kaufman. So I was like, okay, so they just went and some random five guys went on, bought the rights to the band name and logo, and went on to record Take a Seat in the High Row. 12 years later after the last. Why? I mean, was Tyran Pace that much of a cult hot commodity? I don't know. Again, I can't find anything regarding these guys, but I just found that really interesting here. So on that album, you have Michael Dees on vocals, Fabian Schwartz on guitar, Johan Issing on bass, Loser on drums. Sorry, I'm L-O with the umlaut on it, S-E-R. How do you spell that? Lauser on drums, and Alex Schmidt on keyboards. So that is basic, and I've listened to it. I mean, it's power metal-ish, but at times also goth. Like, the guy's voice is really nothing like Ralph Sheepers, like not even high pitch. The guy sings about as well, about as high as that. And then of course there's these goth sounds like kind of like that. It's probably the most original Tyran Pace album. Is it good? No. I've listened to it just to enough to make this episode here. I mean, I'll give it another shot, but if you're a fan of the first three Tyran Pace albums, chances are you will not really get this one here. It's a little different, especially vocally, I found here. But the story doesn't really end there. Members of the original band reunite for a one-off performance just for one song, the song Eye to Eye, which is one of the better songs on this album here, at a charity concert in Esslingen 2005. That is basically all I could find regarding Tyran Pace. So, first of all, anybody watching this and any Tyran Pace fans out there, if I'm missing some crucial details that you know, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know about this band here. Yeah, this is the back cover of this. But yeah, I just like the more obscure and forgotten bands that I'm getting into of late or making episodes for, the harder it is for to find stuff on the internet. I just couldn't believe how little there was about this band. There's lots about Ralph Sheepers. Then you click on the Tyran Pace thing, it's like 3 sentences almost there. But yeah, right now Ralph Sheepers is doing good with his Primal Fear band. Um, he did release, I guess, a solo album in 2011 just called Sheepers. He at one time was in the running uh, for to replace Rob Halford in Judas Priest, but the job went to Tim Ripper Owens. I guess technically it was a good thing that he didn't get chosen, because he went on to have a very. I'm not a huge fan of Primal Fear just because they only keep talking about heavy metal there all the time there. My friend likes them there, which is fine. But I mean, he's had a good career with Primal Fear. Like I see them. Well, I remember seeing them being mentioned in magazines and all that. I just didn't know they had a new album. I think it's this year or maybe last year, but I think it's this year. My friend Steph has it, I think. But yeah, but anyway, now we're not here to talk about Primal Fear and or Gamma Ray. But yeah, this is Tyran Pace. Yeah, folks, this is all I could find regarding this band here. But I mean, if I had one to recommend, I probably would go with. I mean, my favorite is this one, and probably would go with this one, and then Watching You. They're all very strong albums. It's just not what it lacks originality, but that doesn't mean it's bad, you know. So yeah, that's my little, very little episode regarding Tyran Pace. And also, if anybody knows anything about that apostrophe, I'd be curious to know why that's there. Is it supposed to be Tyrant Pace or another Tyranny Pace? But yeah, anyway, that's my little episode regarding Tyran Pace. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned a little something on this one here. If not, well, sorry, I couldn't find anything. So have yourself a great one, and we'll see you next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.